TLC.
I must say, this is the most wasted edition of the TLC pay-per-views I have ever seen, starting things off at 30 sins because of a few reasons. The only bit of TLC is in the last 25 minutes, and the main focus on the hype is the unification of both world titles. The TLC match is placed there as a coincidence only. Also, the unification of the WWE Championship and the World Heavyweight Championship was by far one of the worst decisions WWE ever made, especially when there are too many wrestlers on your roster for just one title scene, and this ended up screwing over a shitload of wrestlers from getting title shots, especially when Brock Lesnar took it. So here are another 20 sins. Literally before the opening promo takes place, we kick off TLC with the Authority saying pretty much the same thing they've been saying for weeks about how the world titles are getting unified on this historic night.
For 50 years, championships have been held by all of the greats.
So let's erase one of them right now and introduce the Universal Championship 3 years later, making this whole thing more useless than it already is.
Ric Flair!
What chance?
WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
Calling it the WWE World Heavyweight Championship when both titles technically already have that name. And the title ends up continuing the lineage of the WWE Championship while ignoring the World Heavyweight Championship's lineage, so why not just call it the WWE Championship?
TLC.
Oh yeah, with all the attention the unification is getting, I actually forgot this was a TLC event. I'll end up forgetting that for another 2.5 hours. Gotta love CM Punk accidentally spitting out his gum, then responding with a, well shit, that just happened face. Also, this pay-per-view has no room for additional TLC-related matches, but somehow has room for not one, but two 3-on-1 handicap matches. Let that sink in for a moment. Also, to spice things up and make it more challenging, CM Punk versus the entire Shield should have been a 3-on-1 handicap tables match, where CM Punk would have to put every member through a table in order to win. That would have been fucking epic.
14,100.
Shut up. Perhaps the reason Dean Ambrose has yet to execute any sort of offense is because he's waiting for CM Punk to compliment his shave and or hairstyle. Since we all know what happened to CM Punk a month later, what are the odds that he's intentionally doing this to piss everyone off before he quits? Roman Reigns tags himself in, and it takes JBL literally 15 seconds before he realizes he had to react to it. Too late. One of the very few highlights of this pay-per-view is that moment where Roman Reigns goes sailing into the commentators when CM Punk moves out of the way of the spear. I'll take a sin off now, but it still ain't looking good for the already stacked counter. Michael Cole must be watching ahead of us because he said the referee was at a count of 8 when he was actually at a 7 count. Copy Punk infringement. John Cena must be secretly competing in this match prior to the unification match since someone invisible was hooking Seth Rollins' leg during this pinfall. Gotta give credit to CM Punk on his strategy, waiting for the right moment for Roman Reigns to spear one of his partners, then take advantage and win the match. That's what you call a great escape.
Nobody has my number.
Except CM Punk.
Our Divas division right now is a joke.
If there was anyone who should have retired the Divas Championship and introduced the new WWE Women's Championship, it was AJ Lee. These promos of honesty about the Divas division being a disgrace to women's wrestling was the perfect time to create the revolution.
He has not held the Divas Championship since 2010.
Actually, it was 2011, because she had the Divas Championship for the first month of 2011 before losing it at the Royal Rumble to Eve Torres, and yes, I'm a fucking nerd. For someone who claims the Divas era is a joke in WWE, AJ Lee must really care about the ugly title belt since she kisses it.
It's been 30 degrees below zero.
Even the commentators don't care about the Divas Championship match because the topic of discussion is argued about how anyone could survive the winter in Canada. Meanwhile, here I am writing this in the middle of winter in Canada, warm and snug in the snow. For someone who's been in WWE for over 5 years now, Natalya is still easily distracted by Tamina doing absolutely nothing. Maybe that's why Natalya hasn't had a Divas title match since 2011. If talking about Canadian weather conditions weren't bad enough, now the commentators are debating about what the plural of moose is. It's just moose, by the way. Here's another 5 sins. Get your shit together. Ha. AJ Lee must have paid off this referee to count fast for her because that was a very fast count. Where's the authority to take control of this fast counting referee like at Night of Champions earlier? Here we go with another promo to hype up this unification main event while once again ignoring the fact that this event is called TLC and really lacks TLC.
Y'all reckon?
Damian Sandow complaining about phrases that suck when he should be complaining about how this TLC event makes no sense. Why are we replaying Damien Sandow's entrance theme when he's already made his way to the ring? Time to bring up Big E Langston.
The winner of the Rumble is not going to have a choice.
Which kinda sucks because it made things more exciting when a Royal Rumble winner had a champion to choose from. WWE trying to make this unification match sound exciting, and they're just destroying themselves further with every try.
The new Sandow.
Damien Sandow claims he is a new Sandow, and yet he's got the same mannerisms, the same music, and the same amount of failures in his career. Seems like the same old Damien Sandow to me. Damn, I get that it was annoying when the commentators were talking about random things that had nothing to do with matches, but now they're not even saying anything at all. Guess it's true that they want to talk about anything except for the match they're supposed to be calling. Splash spanking. Make sure to zoom in intently on Randy Orton tying up his boots. It's very important that we get that shot. What's more annoying than constantly bringing up this unification match while ignoring the lack of TLC on a TLC pay-per-view? Showcasing tweets from legends praising the unification match while also ignoring the lack of TLC. Skip the damn pre-show panel.
The Miz versus Kingston.
Oh great, just what this pay-per-view needs. More impromptu matches. Are you not entertained by this? Quick answer, nope.
A no disqualification match.
Seriously? WWE had the chance to add another TLC-related stipulation and chose to go with a traditional no disqualification match? Why not just rename this pay-per-view entirely or something? Another 15 sins added to the counter. As I mentioned earlier, CM Punk vs. The Shield should have been a 3-on-1 handicap tables match. Meanwhile, this fatal 4-way match for the WWE Tag Team Championship should have been a ladder match. At least then it'd be far more entertaining than what we are watching right now.
Swagger led, of course, by the...
No fair, Jack Swagger had a head start on Antonio Cesaro. How the hell did The Big Show go from being in an epic feud as a broke man with the Authority and the main event of Survivor Series for the WWE Championship against Randy Orton to being in a random tag team with Rey Mysterio for this match? And all because they needed an extra team, too.
Big Show and Rey Mysterio are the favorites.
I'm sorry, I couldn't keep a straight face when Michael Cole said Rey Mysterio and The Big Show were the favorites to win the tag team titles tonight.
In Houston,
I was sick that I had the sniffle.
It was funny the first time JBL made an excuse for his loss to Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania 25, but now it's getting a little repetitive. Also, Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match, once again not making any sense by having two entire teams on the ring apron instead of a member of each team in the ring at once.
Well, he wears makeup.
Technically, Curtis Axel tapped out right there, and it was in full view of the referee's eyes, so why hasn't the weird team of Ryback been eliminated here? Also, JBL and his constant bantering about how Goldust doesn't operate like normal human beings because he wears makeup.
You guys are wearing makeup? No, I'm not.
Jerry Lawler thinks it's weird for guys to wear makeup. Newsflash, it's not. Hell, there are times I do that. Got a problem with it? That's what I thought. Man, with all the times Big Show has whacked Curtis Axel in the chest in the last minute, I'm surprised Curtis even has a chest anymore.
no team eliminated yet.
No shit, Michael. The match literally started like 2 minutes ago and everyone is still fresh. Hell, the real Americans haven't even been legal yet. Jack Swagger actually believed that he was close enough to Rey Mysterio to tag himself into the match. What an idiot. Post-elimination assault. No shocker that Ryback would immediately start crying after quickly losing.
They're going to be crybacks so now.
Jerry Lawler foreshadowed Ryback's post-WWE career. Zeb Coulter would be great at CinemaSins 2 expansion. Hate that asshole, but he has a point. It was Goldust who came to him, and even then, Zeb is an old man who can't really cause much damage at all.
You think they piped in that noise?
JBL accidentally given WWE the idea to pipe in crowd noises for the future events of the 2020s, both in the Thunderdome and outside the Thunderdome. Damn you, JBL, I blame you! The Big Show is cheering for somebody who's not even on his team. If I were Big Show, I'd be glad that my other opponents are beating the crap out of each other while I'm sitting around fresh and ready to take advantage. I'll go ahead and take off a sin for the awesome way Big Show knocked out Cesaro, followed by Cesaro selling the WMD with that glazed look on his face.
Deliver one of his own. Look at this. Crossbody.
My god, that was pretty bad. Not only was Big Show watching the whole time, but he was literally preparing to fall back whenever Goldust finally jumped onto him. If anything, Show should have caught him and hit a body slam or something. Not the biggest fan of Cody Rhodes in later years, but I gotta give these two teams props for putting on a great finale to this very long tag team match. See, there are some good things about this TLC lacking event. This entire sequence of WWE wrestlers playing with the Brawlin' Buddies, and I may or may not be cranky that I always lost against my brother with these things. Moving on.
Set to take on R-Truth.
Wait, what? Hold on a second here. You're telling me we still have a shitload of time to kill on this pay-per-view? That we got room for another impromptu match? My god, this pin will never end.
No, see, he backs it up.
This impromptu match between R-Truth and Brodus Clay has only begun, and we're already hearing random chants from the audience. You see, the crowd will tell you when the matches shouldn't exist. 2012 and 2013 were nightmare years for pay-per-view events, given how many impromptu matches they had per event.
I'll bring up a Free Willy comment.
Now this is an R-Truth my bad moment, since he was a dick to his own truths by falling on the turnbuckle before Brodus Clay could even reach the ropes.
You're on the pay-per-view, it's a huge moment.
Copyright infringement, that's what's up. The remainder of this match is Brodus Clay arguing with Tenzai, along with Tenzai, Cameron, and Naomi walking out on Brodus, which leads to R-Truth winning the match, and everyone except for Naomi falling into obscurity for the next number of years. You're welcome.
No disqualification!
I mentioned earlier how this was an impromptu match added in with a missed opportunity for a TLC-type stipulation. CM Punk versus The Shield should have been a tables match, the tag team title should have been a ladder match, and this match right here, since it was a no disqualification stipulation, should have been a chairs match. Ta-da! Perfectly balanced matches. I should have booked this event. Here's another 10 sins. Wait, didn't we see this already?
Switzerland on Sky Select.
We have nothing else to talk about because this match was completely out of nowhere and means nothing, so let's talk about countries and how they are watching the show.
Sort of deserve it. Remember in the...
See, even the audience is frustrated at the lack of TLC on the show. They are chanting, "We want tables," and since this is a no disqualification match, now would be the perfect time to introduce said tables. But guess what they don't end up doing?
Singles champion rivalry.
I don't understand this. Kofi Kingston fought with The Miz outside the ring, threw him back in, all just to throw him back out again? If you were just going to keep fighting outside, why throw him back in the ring?
And Kofi Kingston.
Kofi Kingston knows he's supposed to sell his ankle hitting the ring post when he missed Miz in the Trouble in Paradise attempt. The problem is he's actually hopping on the injured ankle and balancing the not injured leg in the air. Oh my god, that was horribly done. Since Kofi's foot slipped off of The Miz, it looked more like Miz threw himself over the top rope because reasons.
Oh no! Oh!
The Miz is addicted to Kofi's Kingstons.
Kingston trying to...
I don't blame the fans here. This match indeed is boring. Hell, I think these two completely forgot that this match is under no disqualification rules because neither wrestler ever capitalized on that opportunity. As a result, the match sucked, the crowd hates it, and I just added another 20 cents to this overflowed counter. One handicap match is not good enough, let's add in another. Might as well rename this event Handicapped Randomness.
Running Nita Wyatt, driving him out of the...
Luke Harper is indirectly addicted to Eric Rowan by waiting until the bell rang before removing Eric's mask from his head, thus blocking Daniel Bryan from his view. One thing I'll remove a sin for is how Bray Wyatt continues to sit in his rocking chair despite being a legal participant in this 3-on-1 handicap match, just waiting for the right moment to spring. Pretty scary.
Oh, and face first goes Daniel Bryan.
Does Michael Cole still have that secret hatred for Daniel Bryan that he had in 2010? Because what part of Eric Rowan slamming him to the canvas was funny?
Spider-like. Never.
To that poor schmuck with the "I'm so sorry" sign who most likely broke up with his girlfriend for reasons likely his own fault, since you probably didn't think the idea of attending a WWE event was a good idea, and he got mad about it, yelled at her, called it off, and went to the event himself after crying for hours eating ice cream. That ain't gonna convince her to take you back.
I think they covered that.
So, Luke Harper tagged himself in just to tag in Bray Wyatt and do nothing himself? Perhaps Eric Rowan should have tagged in Bray from the get-go because Luke enters the ring just to leave it. I know that's what Daniel Bryan does, but when you're the one in a 3-on-1 handicap match, don't waste time posing for the audience before you hit your move. Just do it before the others recover. Bray Wyatt massages Daniel's head and goes through his hair after defeating him in this match, likely because he's jealous that Daniel has better hair conditioning shampoo than he does. Event titled TLC takes nearly 2.5 hours to start TLCing, and I guarantee they wouldn't have made this a match a TLC match had it not been for the coincidence of the pay-per-view name. This is why stipulated themed events are not working out. Much as this whole thing really wasn't called for, you gotta admire the video package WWE put together for John Cena and Randy Orton, showing how they won their singles titles and major victories so close to one another. What an epic rivalry indeed. Since this is a match to unify the two world titles, why didn't they have the new Unified Championship already suspended above the ring instead of having the champions carry two titles while being one champion? And if the answer is they didn't have a new title created yet, then why didn't they wait until it was done to have this match? Poor cameraman who walked underneath the ladder to get a shot at John Cena just gave himself bad luck. Wonder if he lost his job conveniently nearby this moment. Hope not.
I said all along.
Looks like the cameraman wasn't the only one getting bad luck. John Cena kissed and touched both championships before the match could even begin. He practically secured Randy Orton's big win right then and there. And then that ladder tipped over, causing the cameraman to fall over to the ground. Told you shouldn't have went underneath that other ladder.
Well, yeah, as a champion, always...
Whoever the hell that guy was who accidentally dropped a microphone causing a thud noise to hit the arena.
Use your weapon in this matchup. Wait for the tape.
Randy Orton be like, no, we haven't had any TLC action throughout this night. Let's keep it that way to piss them off further.
It didn't take long for the toys to come out.
That might be because the toys were already surrounding the ring before the match could even start.
Oh, man.
What in the ever-loving fuck was that supposed to be? Randy Orton thought John Cena was going to counter. Meanwhile, John believed Randy was going to hit him with a chair, thus causing a huge botch. Damn, not even 4 minutes into this big, hyped unification match and it already sucks. Copy site infringement. John clearly whacked Randy in the back with that chair, and yet somehow it's the top of Randy's head that hurts the most. Hit him in the leg next. Maybe that'll somehow cause a concussion.
Both champions relinquish their titles.
If both champions relinquish their respective titles, doesn't that technically mean neither man is credited as a champion before the match began? Very interesting concept. Also, John Cena better be careful with what he's doing. Wouldn't want to accidentally expose Randy Orton's to the crowd in a PG show.
That was unprecedented.
Just wait until 7 years from now when wrestlers start exchanging their championships because of brand rules.
50 years from now, we're going to be talking about this match.
And yet this Sins video is one of the first times that a lot of people even remember this match's existence. That's gotta hurt, right? Now, what would have happened if Randy unhooked the World Heavyweight Championship while John Cena unhooked the WWE Championship? Would that mean the two would simply swap titles and be the opposing world champions? Well, it'd be a lot better than what WWE does in the 2020s.
Yeah, there's a ladder. Orton, Cena, and a win.
Fucking what? Randy Orton literally got whacked in the face with a ladder, followed by a crash through a table on the outside of the ring, and he recovered from all of that in 20 seconds. Here's another 3 cents for no selling the damage.
How does Orton get up from that?
The likeliness is Randy will be up within the next 15 seconds since he's supposedly invincible. John Cena literally had like a 10-second advantage to unhook the championships and win this match, and he ends up looking like Jack Swagger struggling to unhook the Money in the Bank briefcase at WrestleMania in 2010. Man, what is it with Randy Orton being immune to table destruction? He got put through 2 previous tables before going through a 3rd one right there, and yet he's the first one back to his feet in seconds. Meanwhile, John Cena hasn't been through any tables and seems to be in more pain, really shitting on the concept of the TLC match. Not gonna lie, the last few minutes of this match were awesome. The moment Randy pulled out a set of handcuffs and John doing everything he can to escape.
John Cena.
Since you got only one arm to use, why not just unhook the titles one at a time, placing one at the top of the ladder while you unhook the other one? Instead, John Cena goes for the hook at the tip top.
Orton has all the way.
Well, at least part of the table broke. Good news is John will be up in 5 seconds since these guys are immune to table destruction. Wait, what? This actually finishes him? Damn, Randy must be hiding some sort of power.